You are now listening to Extreme Cinema with Andrew Legank and David Lawler. If you like sex and violence, evil brunettes, and angelic blondes, then stick with us as we debate some of the best and worst of action and exploitation filmmaking.
What do we got?
Merry Christmas from Extreme Cinema, and we are here watching a full-length running commentary of the movie The Ref from 1994, directed by Ted Demme, starring Denis Leary, Kevin Spacey, and Judy Davis, among a treasure trove of incredible actors from the early 90s. And I'm here with Andrew. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good.
What would you little maniacs like to do first?
It's good. We're here. It's a couple of days before Christmas, and we got all our presents, and we got all our stuff, and...
it's all wrapped so we can't get at it, you know, so we're all pissed off and we're ready to talk some shit about Kevin fucking Spacey.
But this is going to be fun anyway, because this is a great movie. We've always loved this movie. We watched it a few times back in the old video store where we worked, and I like to roll it out. We both like to roll it out as a perennial on Christmas.
We do.
And, okay, so the way this is going to go, for all of you listening along, so you want to hear our incredibly wonderful remarks that we're going to make about this movie is... we are watching files of it, basically, so we're going to be able to... So it's going to start at the Touchstone logo. So we're going to do the 3, 2, 1, click, and it should go right into the Touchstone video. No warnings, no nothing like that, okay? Now, here we go. Are you ready, Andrew?
I am ready. Born ready.
Here we go. And 3, 2, 1, click. All right. And
look at that Touchstone logo.
This is a take two, so I had to hear that the first time, too. This is, Touchstone. I know Hollywood Pictures is out of business. They're not making movies anymore, but Touchstone...
Yeah, Hollywood was just like, they got tired of using Touchstone, so they did Hollywood. I don't know. They're all tax shelters anyway, I guess.
Well, from what I remember, right, mid-'80s, Touchstone was kind of Disney's way of making adult-oriented movies, right?
Yes.
Down and Out in Beverly Hills, Ruthless People, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, good stuff, some of it.
This is interesting because Denis Leary gets top billing over Kevin Spacey and Judy Davis.
Well, Kevin Spacey really hadn't made it yet at this point. In '94, Kevin Spacey really wasn't, like, this was pre-Usual Suspects and really pre a lot of things.
Was this after Outbreak?
You
got
me on that.
Was it before?
Oh, look at that red ribbon.
All right. Are you getting any juddering yet?
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay. And now we have this beautiful crane shot of this ridiculously over-the-top Connecticut town.
Oh, it's lovely. And now, you know, my town actually does look kind of like this. They don't have the windows. I wish they had the windows, but my town actually does.
I've seen pictures. You have like a Main Street kind of a situation.
We do. Well, we have downtown Greenville, which has like all kinds of stuff like this, like but we also have downtown Simpsonville, which does some similar things.
Right. Now I can let people know because I did live 5 miles from Connecticut. These towns don't really look like this at all. The main streets are completely dead. There are no jobs, and most of the money is coming from people who work in New York. They bring their New York salaries up there, which is exactly what they want, you know.
Yeah, that's really all it is, and the rest of it is just a bunch of people getting shot on the street, a bunch of drug addicts.
Oh, and crazy people who, I heard so many horror stories about people who would just drink too much and then wind up in houses that they thought were theirs, breaking and entering. It's just like the weirdest thing.
Yeah, that's the Robert Downey Jr. problem. Yeah,
the Robert Downey, yeah, Iron Man. Oh, there's that thing.
Yeah, there's that thing.
It didn't occur to me. I didn't know that it was a because this reverse shot makes it look as though Santa is flying through the air above those kids' heads. Santa?
Is that Santa?
Oh, and look at all the. I mean, like, damn, this town's so white.
Oh, those windows used to be awesome. Those, you remember? Do you ever go see the windows down at Macy's when you were a kid? Man, they were fucking off.
These days, not too much.
They still have that, or they have?
Yeah,
like,
they have
Trump at the windows now, or some bullshit.
Oh, they do.
They
have these. They still have those elaborate things. But the thing is, I
like the last version when I said that the sled was racist.
The thing is, there's a war on Christmas, as you know, and people don't want to say Merry Christmas anymore. Now they just want to say Happy Holidays.
There's a war on normalcy. There's a war on anything that people like. There's a war on just like everything that's good.
Now, I wanted to mention Richard Legravenese wrote this with his sister-in-law, Marie Weiss.
Yes.
Marie Weiss is Jewish, and the Legravenese family is Catholic, so they would get together on Christmas, Thanksgiving, or whatever, Hanukkah even, probably, and there would be a lot of arguments and stuff, so they based this on their own family experiences.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
And Richard Legravenese, great writer. Ted Demme, of
He's
course.
terrific. From Fisher King.
He wrote Fisher King, and he also, wrote The Bridges of Madison County, and that was probably why I enjoyed it. Because it was very. I thought the dialogue was very clever between the wife and the husband as they're going over the letters of Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go, Dr. Wong, right? And isn't that B.D. Wong from Jurassic Park?
B.D. Wong. Yes. You see, you're breaking up again.
I'm breaking up.
B.D. Wong. Yes, B.D. Wong from Oz. Yes.
Yeah, and also he was in Law and Order, and he plays he plays a doctor in Jurassic Park who becomes an evil character later on in this series.
Right.
Jurassic World. I guess he genetically engineers dinosaurs and turns them into killing machines.
There's some good lines in here, man. This is good stuff.
And there's our boy Kevin Spacey.
Yep, good old Kevin Spacey.
I want to say very talented actor. He was one of the great actors of his generation. He was Verbal Kint.
He was Verbal Kint. And now he's, like, Kevin, give me a shot of Jack and I'll come in your crack, Spacey.
And that is joke number 1, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a whole bunch of them. What was the one that I told you to... we were talking about Terminator Dark Fate?
Yeah, the LGBT 1000. LGBT 1000.
Yes. The very tall, muscular Robin Wright Penn looking chick that isn't Robin Wright Penn. Yeah. Very creepy. That whole thing is
I still kind of wanted to see the movie, but I heard it was so bad. I don't know. We probably should be talking about that, especially when they're, this line that she gives about, didn't your alien leaders teach that before they sent you here? Yeah. I use that line all the time. And on my ex, it really was appropriate.
Yeah. Now that's a Scarlet Letter reference.
Is that so wrong? Come on.
I hate to say, the thing, she's an attractive woman, but that hairdo is not good. That is a terrible hairdo.
It's a 90s middle-aged woman hairdo.
God, it's like she didn't even fucking care, though. Like I said, she's a good-looking woman, but she looks like my mom in this movie,
Yeah, she's married to a gay dude. Why would she care?
Hey, they did produce a child. God knows, it's weird.
Apparently they did.
But this was like back in the days before he came out. He didn't actually,
Oh, no.
The whole thing actually...
He wasn't even officially out until all the scandals.
Yeah. He totally, and he pissed off the homosexual community by throwing them under the bus, blaming his homosexuality and his I guess, secret life on all of his behavior. It was like a very weird thing that he did. And it was wrong, too. They were really upset. Oh, here we go. This is Denis Leary right here, and we're going to have cat piss in a second.
Yep.
I should mention, Denis Leary is listed as the star of this movie. He had worked with Ted Demme before on 2 projects. He was...
Who was the man?
Who's the man?
Yeah.
And, Jesus. Cat piss. Which is horrible. And he also, Ted Demme directed No Cure for Cancer.
Wow. Interesting.
So I think they're buddies. They were buddies.
Yeah, definitely.
Now
they worked together a fair amount, I know.
We talked a little bit about Ted Demme. He is the nephew, I believe, of Jonathan Demme, a filmmaker who got more recognition, basically, than Ted Demme. Because Ted Demme...
I was always a much bigger fan of Ted than Jonathan.
I think Ted Demme had like a better understanding of humor. He's a funnier filmmaker. Jonathan Demme, not as much. I
just think he's less pretentious and less he just is who he is, and he was willing. I hate to say, I was just about to say he's willing to take like, he was willing to work his way up, take kind of shit jobs like Who's the Man.
Well, yeah.
But he did good things with movies like that. Like, he made them fun, and then and he was growing as a filmmaker. It was a shame that he passed away so soon, and I believe it was of a heart attack while he was playing basketball. Somebody told me that.
A little birdie told you that one.
Yeah, a little birdie.
Well, yeah, he also had a really bad cocaine habit.
Oh, there was that too.
So that contributing. You have heart problems. You're overweight, and you're playing basketball.
Blow while you're playing basketball, and you're fucking 50 pounds overweight.
Yeah,
dude.
you're gonna drop.
You might have a heart attack.
Now, the movies that I enjoyed, I did enjoy Beautiful Girls. Blow was okay. Blow was his last movie, but
Blow was a good movie. I liked it.
I thought it was a little too long, though. That's the problem.
Oh, I love it. The mafia gives scholarships for it. And I still say, getting laid by an 18-year-old linebacker is
just what she needs. Fuck you.
Fuck you. Yeah.
Fuck you. You fuck you and kiss my ass. Okay, so Denis Leary is in here. He's a cat burglar of sorts, and this.
And he's about to run into a dog.
Now, he made some movies in the 90s that were kind of almost extensions of his stand-up comedy persona. There's a lot of stuff in here that...
Like, Who's the Man?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here that I don't think Legravenis wrote. There's a lot of stuff here that I think Denis Leary... Whoa! There's a lot of stuff here that he kind of improvised. Like in Demolition Man. You remember Demolition Man?
Oh, yeah.
And he's in it, and he's doing this whole spiel, and it's right from his stand-up.
It is, yeah. Well, Demolition Man is one we should do someday, just because of the
Three Seashells, the Taco Bell.
No, just that. Well, that's Daniel Waters' influence on that, which is a fascinating thing that they brought in. The writer of Heathers to spice up this action movie, and he just took it and rolled with that and made it into his own thing. Like,
look, remember Fletch? What's your name, Love? Fifi?
Yeah.
This is a picture of the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. This is a picture of the dog that tried to eat me. This is a picture of the camera. It's a picture of my car. Dog tried to eat that too. He's eating a pool ball for frickin'.
Hell yeah. Like, fuck yeah, I'm fucked.
He's going to get bit in the ass in a second, right?
Yes, he is. Well, it could be the ass, could be the balls at that point. You don't know. Depends on how low they hang. Or how tight his pants are.
Oh, he's pretty, though. He's a pretty dog. Is that a Rottweiler?
I don't know. Looks like. I don't know. I'm not...
Yeah, he took it right in the ass. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that.
Hey, don't say that about Kevin Spacey.
No, I was saying that about Anthony Rapp.
I was saying that about the creepy guy from Adventures in Babysitting.
Okay, so here we are. This is one of those ridiculously overpriced food markets that they have up there, and believe me, I've seen them.
I've been in one.
This is where it costs you get like a
roll of toilet paper is $11.
Well, I wasn't going to go that far. I was going to say that those those breakfast bars, like those Special K breakfast bars or whatever. We walked into one of those stores, $7 for a box. Just a regular box. It's like $2 here.
At least there's a box. It's not like $7 each.
No. But I will say they did have an excellent selection of meat. Very good quality.
Did they? It was like they had like cooked meats or uncooked meats.
No, just a regular meat, regular red meat.
Oh.
Good cuts, good cuts of everything.
Good cuts of steak and stuff.
Good cuts of steak. It was delicious. It was incredible, but it was incredibly expensive as well. So you couldn't walk out of there for like 4 bags of food would cost over $200.
Right.
Which is just that's worse than Fresh Direct.
Yeah.
But nowadays I can't get my meat anywhere else but Fresh Direct because they I ordered a roast for Christmas. We're having like a New York strip roast, and it's a very good cut of meat. It's also extremely expensive, and I also. For New Year's, I'm gonna make lobster thermidor and filet mignon, and nice. I also bought some raw oysters. They look great.
I do love oysters.
You can't really find those in a lot of supermarkets around here.
You can here because we're in a good area for that. I should do oysters. See if I can get some. They probably have some down at Bilo.
And I figured out my marinara sauce. The key ingredients are horseradish and Tabasco with a little bit of lime.
Remind me to stay away from your marinara sauce.
Okay. You got a problem with horseradish?
Well, I like horseradish. I just don't know if I want it in my marinara sauce.
Well, it's just
You see those cans of Green Giant corn?
Green Giant.
That costs $9.
Oh, look, there's pimentos, stuffed olives.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is Judy,
Judy Dench? No, not Judy Dench.
agonizing over her marriage. Uh-oh.
She has
Wow,
a
is she-
$5
okay.
roll of paper towels.
Is she short or is he tall?
Both.
Okay. You were such a politician, I swear.
Oh my God, Carrie.
But, okay. Oh, here we go with the police department, these guys.
Yeah.
That's Robert Ridgely, who played the hangman in Robin Hood Men in Tights, I remember. There's Raymond J. Barry, where he has the immortal line later.
One is the guy from Boogie Nights.
Where? Who? Raymond J. Barry?
Him.
Oh, Robert
That dude.
Ridgely? Oh, yeah. He was the guy who said, to your cock. Thank you.
Yeah, that one, yeah.
But Raymond J. Barry, you remember he was, wasn't he also in Falling Down? He played Robert Duvall's boss, right?
Oh, yeah.
He says something about your faggot dogs hump each other.
Yeah. This is a strange character. Like it's a weird. It doesn't really fit this movie.
I think he does. I think what he's doing is trying to show just how stupid these people in this small town, who are wealthy and have robbed America and basically have these privileged lives, and they are privileged. These people are privileged, by the way.
They are.
This movie is about white people's problems, but I think he thinks they're a joke. He kind of reminds me of Chief Brody in Jaws. He's just sort of he strikes me as a New York cop who wanted just to have a quieter life or something.
Yeah, he's clearly fed up with everybody in this town, and he doesn't give a shit. I mean, but it's just like I kind of if you're going to include that in the movie, I kind of want to know more about where all that came from. But you don't have time to include all that.
Yeah, you
it's
don't.
Like you know, I don't know. That's why I've always felt that it didn't 100% fit. But I always kind of liked watching it.
Well, this is a board of selectmen. Now, is your town like this? Does it have a board of selectmen or a mayor?
No, we have a mayor. Well, actually, I actually don't live in it. I live in an unincorporated area where there is no mayor.
Oh,
like we have a county council, and that's it.
so where does your jurisdiction fall?
Like jurisdiction? How? What do you mean?
Well, who are your cops? Are they Greenville cops?
Oh, we have Greenville County cops.
Oh, okay.
Like Greenville County Sheriff's Office is our that's who you would call.
Oh, okay.
If you got a
So
problem.
you fall under the jurisdiction of Greenville then?
Yeah, Greenville County, not Greenville City.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now they're arguing, and he doesn't seem to know what he's gotten into.
Stop sign. Not yet. Stop sign's coming.
It'll be. You saw the stop sign, didn't you, Lloyd?
Stop sign. You saw the stop sign.
They do it. They do a really fine job, and I actually, and Spacey is really good in this too. I mean,
He's terrific.
and I got to tell you, I mean, like my mother had a crush on him. She thought he was hot back in those days. She liked that kind of. He had kind of
like that kind of gay thing.
Well, it wasn't the gay. No one.
Lispy gay thing.
There. I know there were always rumors about Kevin Spacey, but the thing is, back then the default was straight.
Yeah.
Until somebody told you otherwise. So we always assumed that everybody was straight.
I don't know. I thought it was always fairly common knowledge. I mean, he took his mother to the Oscars, for Christ's sake. That's pretty fucking gay. I mean, just because he hadn't yet become Kevin Ply the Twink with a Drink Spacey didn't mean that, like, we didn't know it was gay.
That's number 2 right there. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not done yet. Oh, okay. But I've always enjoyed Kevin Spacey. We did. You did. You took me to see Usual Suspects.
Dude, I loved Kevin Spacey. You know what I still do is I find it hard, but I just I like to joke about it.
It's like
But
weird stuff. I don't.
I think it's pretty shitty, and I'm really not a fan of cancel culture in
No.
general. I like his work is his work.
The work is the
He's
work.
an asshole who
when I was okay, I was
okay. So he's the Weinstein of teen peen. Okay.
Yeah, but
so,
okay.
but that's in his private life. That's not his work.
That's not the work.
Okay?
Yes, exactly. The thing I was thinking about this because we've seen far worse behavior. There's a whole documentary, An Open Secret, right? We talked about it.
There is far worse behavior. At least he's going for somewhat older kids, as far as we know.
But the thing is, that's how they. I don't know. That's how they make their deals, And that a lot of these Me Too women have done questionable things to further their careers.
Oh yeah,
especially when you see that a lot of them
really
don't have any
irks
talent.
Me because like a lot of these women, okay, so you fuck Harvey Weinstein. It's like who didn't know that was how it worked in Hollywood? Like, I mean,
Apparently,
I find it difficult.
Nobody knew until it happened, and they act surprised when it comes out.
Right, and like you did it, and you got the role, and now you're gonna make a big deal out of it 10 years later. I'm sorry, I really
oh my
feel
God,
no sympathy for
I never even noticed that. Did you notice that?
What the naked?
Yeah, the
picture?
naked chicks. I didn't know. Because I mean, like,
you got to be watching in HD, bro.
Well, I mean, the thing is, this whole the whole subplot. Oh, there's J.K. Simmons.
Kevin Spacey threw a shot into this kid.
I don't know. Let's hope not. Let's hope that Dennis was like, Kevin, get away from the kid, okay? Kevin. But I'm just hugging him. He's my son. No, Kevin, no.
Yeah. Kevin, get away from the child.
So this is
take 2 steps back from the child.
This is a kind of a thin subplot to kind of work the kid in. He is kind of like an aspiring criminal of his own. He's like a blackmailer. He's kind of like a Jeffrey Epstein type, I would say, because he's blackmailing people, and I think that's part of what Jeffrey Epstein was. Oh, by the way, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
That's right, he did not.
I think a lot of what he was doing was accumulating information, and yeah, he had his vices, so to speak. Some people drink Pepsi, some people drink Coke, but I think what he was doing was collecting a lot of information on very powerful people, and that's why he's dead. But that's just me. I could be wrong about that.
I think that's pretty clear.
So this kid has some dirty pictures of his headmaster, I guess, from his military school.
He does.
Played the great J.K. Simmons. This is one of his first roles that I noticed him in.
Indeed, yes.
And I had no idea because I'm looking at the high def version of it now. But when we looked at it like on VHS back in the day, you really couldn't see much in the photograph. But apparently,
no, that's true. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to make out most of that, and that was how we watched this.
So I mean, if that's the case, he's like there with a couple of naked broads or whatever. I mean, he kind of deserves to be blackmailed. Where did this picture come from?
Well, apparently,
he took a picture of his headmaster?
Kevin Spacey's date for Thursday took him.
Okay, so we're getting all up into this shit. Now, okay, this is kind of tough. This is kind of tough for me watching this movie. I don't know how it'll be for you, but I do have issues, family-related issues, that kind of this movie rings a little bit too close to home for me.
Really?
I do feel a lot of times that family... in-laws, as it were, do attempt to manipulate. You're free not to say anything, but I'll say something.
No,
I feel like there's a lot of emotional manipulation involved in families, and this movie, I mean, it's a comedy, yes, but these moments of drama and the way they behave, it seems very accurate to me.
Well, it depends on your family, but yeah, I mean, I'm lucky. I don't have any of that problem with my wife's family at all.
I think a lot of times I'm going to say it, and it's going to be released. But I think a lot, it's not directed at me. It's directed at my wife from her family. I feel like sometimes they tend to, kind of get under her skin. And I don't like that because she's my wife. I love her. I married her. It's going to be 20 years in April. I mean, I think I feel like
I would have the same problem.
I feel like I'm looking out for her best interest more than some other people who should, really.
Well, I mean, and things like that would piss you off. I mean, I know I get pissed off at things that, that doesn't happen with my wife's family. Like all either one of us really have left is our mothers. I mean, she has a lot of extended family. I don't, but they're all friendly and nice.
And also, I can tell you, my mother tortured.
It's Christmas. Oh,
Don't make me nuts.
It's Christmas.
I just saw her recently on an episode of Frasier. She played this psychiatrist person.
Yes.
Oh, they're getting a meal now because they know they're not going to be able to eat real food once they get over to.
Yeah, they're not going to want to eat the lamb cousins or whatever.
Parsnip kringlers and all this Scandinavian crap.
And women being skinned alive.
I mean, nuts. It's Christmas.
Christmas. It's Christmas.
I was saying this the other day. Christine Baranski kind of looks like my mother-in-law a little bit.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Except for the mouth. But the nose and the eyes, she's got it nailed.
Wow.
And he's going to go in and grab... Well, no. Is he grabbing anything?
I have some similar issues, by the way, just to say with with some friends of my wife that I think treat my wife badly, and I don't like it.
Okay. That's good. I'm glad we shared that moment. This is turning into an after-school special. And then he touched me in my pants. Oh, this is so funny. I love that.
What is it? A drunken loser? It's a...
Oh, this is Murray.
It's kind of a short drunken loser.
All right, ask if there's a waste of fucking life named Murray.
See if there's a fucking waste of life named Murray.
He said, well, he picked up the phone. He says, yeah, I'm looking for a fucking loser. And he says, you just described everybody in the bar, pal.
Yeah.
See if there's a waste of fuck. Is there a fucking waste of life?
Waste of life named Murray. Gutsy.
No, okay. I did read something, an interesting bit of trivia. They actually, this movie had a different ending, and they tested it poorly.
I wonder what was the ending.
I think the ending was that Denis Leary turns himself in and is arrested.
What the fuck? That would have pissed me off.
And then the audience didn't like it, so they actually reshot it with them helping Denis Leary escape, which is, it may not be realistic, but I think it's satisfying.
See, we just see that's the problem with this movie. There's just too many good lines. We're gonna talk over them. It's like, come on, how many times have we used? Is that too much of a fucking stretch? I mean, I told you to act like a drunk, vagrant imbecile.
He does. Oh shit, he messed up all their pots, man. They have a nice house.
Dude.
Okay, now the thing about all of this is that apparently, I guess Lloyd is a loser because he has to borrow money from his mom, who has all the money, and because she has all the money, she gets to control the family. And everybody feels that way. Even Christine Baranski feels that way.
Yeah.
So she bought this house for them. And then they have to pay her back in installments, and it's very fucking frustrating. And that's one thing I never really wanted, I guess, from anybody in our families, was them helping us out in that way, because they would be able to. They would absolutely behave like this old woman, this incredibly horrible, bitter.
That's a reason not to get into it, and you make the decision to either get into it or not to, and it's a good reason to not give people that kind of control, especially even if they're people who don't lean towards being controlling and difficult. You still don't want to give somebody else that kind of control over you.
I know. It's funny. It's weird. I get along better with the step relations than I do with the blood relations.
Really interesting.
Because both their parents divorced and remarried, and I get along better with those people than I do.
Wow.
Also, I get along.
I'm super blessed to have a terrific in-law family that are wonderful.
I get along very well with my brother-in-law, but I'm not a fan of his wife. We talked about that a long time ago.
Right.
Because I don't know. I think he could do better. I'm sorry. I'm just putting it that. I'm just going to say that. I think he can do better. But that's just me. Now, what is he drinking here? Is this mineral water?
That is water. Yeah. That's one of those
fancy pants.
Upstate New York, Connecticut, water.
It's a glass
things.
bottle.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I used to have that same thing. As a matter of fact, I always bought it because it made me think of this movie, so I would buy it. I don't remember what the brand name was,
I think
but
that
you come
might
across it in Upstate New York.
I think that might be Pellegrino.
No. Definitely not Pellegrino. I forget the name of the brand on it, but I had the same, very similar anyway, bottle in Upstate New York.
I gotta hear some of this dialogue here. Let's see what he's saying.
Where are the Caroline?
Behind the chessboard.
Oh, the cigarettes. Okay. You told me you
Yeah.
quit.
You told me
You quit.
I never said I quit.
You said you
You
quit.
said you quit.
A cigarette in 3
Ooh, the Reds too. Marlboro Reds. Now, back when I smoked Newports. Did you? I forget.
Such a li-
I smoked Newports at the beginning, and then I smoked American Spirits.
Oh shit! Can you tell me where you are in the movie? What time?
136:38.
No, I mean where are you on the timeline?
Oh, 28. Oh, I'm sorry. 28:38 right now.
Right, 28:38. I'm sorry, I accidentally hit my slider. I messed with the time.
Oh, you want to go back to
No,
28:38?
no,
'Cause
no,
I'm
it's okay.
46 right now. You want me to pause?
You're at 28. Okay, where are
I'm
you?
at 28:46 right now.
All right, let me know when you are at 29.
Okay.
So we're just gonna keep doing this.
You saw the stop sign.
And give me a 3, 2, 1 click on that.
All right. Hold on.
Are you still rolling? You're still rolling.
Okay. Yep. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Ready?
Yep.
Go.
All right, he's got the gun to his nose.
Yeah.
Stop sign, didn't you?
You saw the
Right. Okay. All right, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure my battery is okay over here.
Yes, it did. Yes. So you
Should be.
Yeah.
Small I, small A, small R.
Period. Now shut.
Shut up the fuck up. Did you have an accent?
Kevin's giving him that look. Like man.
Yeah, like Denis Leary
you were
pisses
a
cat piss.
14-year-old boy. I'd
Did you know you're bleeding?
whoop your ass.
Oh, yeah.
Or I'd do something to your ass. I don't know what.
What dog?
What?
Bit you?
His name is Cannibal?
His name is Cannibal.
There are band-aids in the bathroom in the master bedroom upstairs.
What's through here?
That's the mud room.
That's the mud
Mudroom.
We had a mud room too, actually, in Brewster.
Love a mudroom. Heather was just lusting after somebody's mudroom yesterday. I want a mudroom like that. Like, yeah, all right. Well,
Do you have
I'll
a
get on
mudroom?
that. No.
Oh, okay.
Apparently we should. I don't know.
It's just, I mean, well, it really depends on if you need it.
I mean,
like,
it's
you know,
fine.
you're trudging through the mud and everything, and you got dirty boots and a dirty coat or whatever. You just hang them in there, and it's no biggie.
Well, we have a deck, in the back of our house. A big, fucking, giant-ass deck. We could take our shoes off out there.
I guess, but
I'm thinking that this is more of a want than a need. But, I mean, okay, it's fine to have wants.
well, I mean, how's your weather been? Because it's been like insanely wet this whole year up in New York.
We've had a good bit of rain, a little too much. It's been pretty dark and gloomy a lot.
Yeah,
of the winter.
yeah, same here. We've had only brief bits of sunshine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have, I'm sure, more than you do, but it's been a lot, way too dark, and it's that affects me negatively, which is unfortunate. But
Yeah, I don't like it either, man. Ugh. But we did have snow. We had We had a snowfall 2 days ago, and it was really nice.
We haven't had any, and I don't want to, jinx anything. I'll knock on wood when I say this, but I got the feeling we aren't going to get any this year.
No snow? Well, I mean, you mean this winter or through the year?
This winter, yeah. I don't think we will. I don't see it. Like, it just.
Do you regularly get
Of course,
snow?
anything could happen. Who knows?
Well, do you regularly get snow?
I love when this guy gets drunk. We get a good snow of like 7-8 inches every 2-3 years.
Last time we had any kind of a bad blizzard was maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
We get an inch, usually once a year. We'll get like an inch or two maybe, and like everything will shut down for days.
Oh, this is the lactose intolerant Santa who gets drunk
Yes.
later on.
Oh, I love when he gets drunk later on and just.
Every year we give you a fruitcake for Christmas.
Hey,
You
you don't
give
give
us
us
a
a
goddamn
goddamn thing. Sounds like me on Christmas. Every year.
Just that kid. He looks like he's working on a mustache.
Blames Jesse
Yeah.
for everything that happens. And he hasn't played chess with him for years. I don't know, alum. I hate it.
Welcome to the suburbs.
Well, I'm not a big fan of fruitcake myself, to be fair.
Me neither. Can't stand
I
it.
can't believe they even sell it. I don't know anyone who likes fruitcake, really.
Does anyone actually like it?
Maybe my great-great-grandmother back in the day. I don't know.
Like, because that was all that was available
That's
during
all
the
they had.
Depression?
They didn't have...
Yeah.
Nobody thought of...
Back in my day, all we had was fruitcake.
fruitcake and whiskey. That's all they had back then.
And we liked it.
You're looking at my gut, aren't you? I'm working on it.
Yeah.
That's middle-aged man. I'm sorry. It was old man and middle-aged man.
It's different. That's not old. Yeah, old man. Different.
And we liked it. That was Dana Carvey. Middle-aged man was Mike Myers. Middle-aged man.
That's not true.
I don't even
They have an
remember
original Chagall in their house, for fuck's sake. I mean,
I know, right?
that is privilege.
Because I would have preferred French, but
What are we, fucking girlfriends here? Do I give a shit about this?
Do I give a shit about it?
So Dennis, all right, let's talk a little bit about Dennis Leary.
Okay.
I like Dennis. I've always liked him. Bronwyn always loves Dennis Leary. She just loved him in everything.
Cool.
And she even thought he was hot at one point.
you just drive me around the block.
But she did try to watch Rescue Me. She didn't really get into it because it was like wall-to-wall sex. It was just sex. That's what she
I
complained about.
wanted to like Rescue Me, but I never could get into it myself.
The whole thing, I think he did it. He did that show. He got the idea for it because he had sponsored all of these Boston firefighters who came down to the World Trade Center when it was on fire, and he was, I guess, moved by their stories and everything, that he wanted to do something about firefighters. But the thing is, it's nothing but sex, you know?
Right.
It's all sex with firefighters. Standing up against the wall, too.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Oh, Santa
I
can't
guess
have
if you're
any
into that kind of thing. Oh, I wonder how many of these kids.
He's like, Santa can't have any more milk. Santa has a lactose condition.
Santa can't have any more milk because all you kids need to go play with Kevin Spacey now.
Oh, look, there's look there. See, Judy is attractive. She's very attractive with that curly hair.
Oh, yeah. What happened?
Because it's like she went into a barbershop just to cut it all off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, Lloyd. We're having an affair.
But Kevin Spacey does have this kind of like intellectual kind of studly quality. He's kind of built. He doesn't look like
He's kind of built.
He's kind of built. He doesn't look like he lifts weights or anything, but he's.
No, he doesn't.
And then he's got these glasses, so he's got this kind of asshole liberal arts college professor thing about him.
He's got that. I don't know about this kind of built.
No,
thing.
he is. He is kind of built. Look at his shoulders.
Like, he looks like he has never set his eyes on a weight, let alone lift one.
Oh, look at his
lifted
shoulders.
one.
He's got broad shoulders. He could have gone the other way. You know what he could have been? He could have been Max Cady in Cape Fear. He could have done that.
Yeah,
I could have seen him totally
laughing like Max Cady.
making out with Juliette Lewis. I could see that.
Yeah.
We were talking about that the other day because we were talking about Scorsese films, and I was thinking that's the only thing I really liked about Cape Fear was his interplay with Juliette Lewis. De Niro and Juliette Lewis are fantastic in that film.
I enjoyed Cape Fear through pretty much.
I just thought it was really.
I haven't seen it since I saw it in the theater.
I just thought it was really loud. It was such a loud, big, over the top kind of movie, you know.
Was that Bernard Herrmann score, which was fucking awesome?
Yeah, it was like somebody adapted it. Jerry Goldsmith, right? Did he readapt?
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Bernard Herrmann's score.
Yeah. They really liked that score, man, and they came with it. Like they fucking had that shit, you know. They wanted it loud. You know?
I'm not sure, but I think that movie is Scorsese's most profitable one, adjusted for inflation.
Sounds about right.
Even though his movies have made a lot of money in recent years.
Yeah.
I do want to see. I never got a chance. Maybe you saw it, but I've been hearing really good things about Shutter Island. I was thinking of seeing it.
I tried to sit through it. It didn't do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose I'd try again. I don't know.
And I need to.
You know, sometimes I revisit these things and they work for me.
Also,
when
because
they didn't before.
They're on Netflix. I want to revisit The Departed and Gangs of New York. I want to see those.
The Departed was lame. Gangs of New York I've tried multiple times and it just sucks. I can't do
I
it.
enjoyed everything about Gangs of New York except Cameron Diaz. That's the only thing I didn't really like.
I love that time period, and that movie just sucks. Like it's just not good. No, no, no. Republicans?
There's a Republican joke in there. Ooh, they took a shot at Republicans. How about that?
Yeah, it's amazing. By
Meanwhile,
accusing them of doing what the Democrats do.
meanwhile, I have to assume
Look,
that this family is Democrat. I have to assume that they're liberal. They strike me as New Yorkers, educated, liberal types.
Yeah.
So, but here they are living this life of. It's kind of like Get Out, you know.
Yeah. It's Get Out, except the leads have a little bit more chemistry. I've never seen two leads that have less chemistry than those two.
Meanwhile,
You're a criminal. What possible purpose could you
oh,
serve?
they're having a discussion.
I work for a living, okay?
I work
have
for a living.
skill. I'm in the game, pal. What do you do except take up fucking space?
Ah, he's giving him shit.
If you're so skilled, what are you doing stuck here?
What are you doing here?
Let me tell you, I can break into any house, anywhere, anytime, take whatever I want, in and out, 10 minutes, no prints, no evidence, nothing. What's his name? Hadn't installed that fucking roadrunner booby trap up here in Jamaica by now.
I'm impressed.
No, you people don't get impressed, do you?
No,
Huh?
I feel like you're impressed.
That just bores the shit out of you people. Well, I'm sorry. We don't all have rich mummies and daddies we can live off of, or open restaurants. where we can avoid playing tennis.
He's going there. Uh-oh.
You told him about the restaurant? Yeah. I heard you couldn't cut it working for a living, Mr. Brooks Brothers, so you just...
Shut up!
Wow. Okay, this is interesting because
You know, you and my wife have a lot in common. You both think you have some right to life working out the way you want it to, and if it doesn't, you get to act any way you want.
Ooh.
Problem with that is someone still has to be responsible. I'd love to run around taking classes and playing with my inner selfness. I'd love the freedom to be a pissed-off criminal without any responsibility, except I don't have the time. But you don't see me with a gun. You don't see me sleeping with someone else.
Ooh.
You think my life turned out the way I wanted because I live in this house. You think every time I look in the mirror, I shout, gee, I'm glad I'm me,
I'm glad I'm me, and not some 80-year-old billionaire rock star.
24-hour erection.
No, I don't. So
Excuse the shit out of me.
Excuse the shit out of me.
See, now, some of that stuff is pretty harsh, and I think he does a really good job. I think he does a great job with the character.
He does. But now you're wondering, like, how many kids would he need around to have his 24-hour erection? Like, I mean,
That's number
like
4,
an
I think.
Epstein-like supply of kid. You know, oh, here comes one now.
I don't know. When did when that story broke? How long ago was it? 20 years from since when it broke?
Which story?
The story, the Anthony Rapp story. I mean, like when Anthony Rapp was he talking about?
No, that came out like I don't know, like 2 years.
No. I mean, but what time period was it about? Was it about?
Oh,
20 years?
it was back. It was a while ago.
Was it around this time? Do you think? Let me check. I'm gonna check the old.
Okay.
Check the old thing here, Kevin Spacey. No. They kind of. I mean, like it ruined his career, yes, and then they took him completely out of a movie. And they replaced him with Christopher Plummer, and then they gave Christopher Plummer an Oscar nomination as a kind of an insult to Kevin Spacey, I think.
Right.
They were really trying to get some distance between themselves and Spacey. Okay, it says that Anthony Rapp accused Spacey of making sexual advances in 1986. So this was before the ref.
86. Wow. That was actually before Adventures in Babysitting. So you're talking like young ass Anthony Rapp, because Adventures in Babysitting, you might have been filming it that year, but it was released in 87.
They'll be here by 9.
Anthony Rapp is a fine actor. He plays a very annoying character. Yeah, he's an okay actor. But he plays a very
he's the weird kid from Adventures in Babysitting.
but he plays but he plays a very annoying character on Star Trek Discovery. He plays this just constant smart-ass, sarcastic, smirking guy with one-liners, and it's kind of annoying to get that, and especially since Star Trek kind of you need a certain type of character to be running a starship or being a chief engineer, that kind of a thing. Where have I seen? Okay, the guy. Oh God, who is that? Oh, I guess it's Kevin Spacey's brother, the one with the dark hair. Now, where have we seen him before?
That's Kevin Spacey's brother
In the movie, yeah.
Oh,
But I feel like I've seen him before. Oh, they're gonna look
he
at
seems
this video.
kind of familiar.
Oh, they're trying to get this guy.
I love how all the cops are like retarded.
They're gonna rewind and then tape over it with "It's a Wonderful Life," right?
Yep.
Do you understand?
There was like a Simpsons episode where there was a cutlery store on Main Street, and it was called "It's a Wonderful Knife."
Right. It's old man Willard. Hey.
Whoa! And there he goes.
Now listen up. Precinct. We're gonna find this guy. I want you to watch it a few more times. Then I'll organize.
Now, Ted Demme
with a specific geographic.
had
What about him?
one of his last projects that he did was an excellent documentary
I'll take it in my office.
for IFC.
Nobody leaves.
He directed it with some. I don't know. Take a look here. Okay, it was called A Decade Under the Influence. It was a mini-series about independent film like in the 70s, New Hollywood and all that stuff. And he directed it with Richard LaGravenese.
Oh, interesting.
And it was a better version of Easy Riders, Raging Bulls. The book that Peter Biskind wrote. Peter Biskind wrote for Premiere Magazine and Entertainment Weekly, and he wrote this book called Easy Riders, Raging Bulls. They made a movie out of that too. But this one was the better one. It was a lot more fun.
Interesting.
A lot of crazy stories from people. You know, it had the usual people in it, like Peter Bogdanovich, of course, William Friedkin, people like that. They exist now just to be in documentaries about film from
That's
the
pretty
70s.
much all they do. Right?
Yeah. And it was a great, but it was a good one because it had like, you know, it had Martin Scorsese, Sidney Pollack, Dennis Hopper, Sidney Lumet, Paul Mazursky, Roger Corman. It had Robert Altman in it. So can I tell you, I never much cared for Robert Altman.
I don't like people yakking all at the same time, and that annoys me. So like that's why I don't like Robert Altman. All the people are always talking at the same fucking time.
Yeah, he did that to kind of create a reality, I guess. But it was rather
It was annoying.
What I don't like about Robert Altman is he steals credit from people. You know, she looks familiar. God,
He
I've
had
seen her
that
before.
area in the '90s where he made The Player, which I thought was very good, and
Player was okay.
Shortcuts, which was excellent.
Shortcuts, and MASH, I think, and all those other movies.
I didn't like MASH.
I
Too many people talking at the same fucking
I
time.
did like MASH. I did like MASH, but again, Altman really didn't know what he was doing, and people have come forward to say that he was just smoking a weed all the time. He wasn't really making the movie. He was just sort of getting high all the time.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that's a crime anymore.
Well, it was back in the 70s, or 1970. Well, it wasn't. I mean, it was like frowned upon, but
You were sent there because high schools wouldn't enroll you.
this is back when directors were treated,
Yeah.
you know, they didn't become the superstars that they would then become in the 70s. All right, now this bit here doesn't look like it was scripted. It looks like it was improvised a little bit.
It doesn't, because I mean,
All right, we don't have much time. Pay attention to
Not the way you drive.
There are these wonderful cops again, and they're gonna totally screw up this. Now you listen. Do you want the moon?
no. You listen here.
No, you want the moon? You want me to just get a big fucking rope and just bring down the moon, Mary? Is that what you want? You know,
No. Ooh, all right, where's the rabbit?
he's seeing rabbits like Donnie Darko. George Bailey's kind of a prick. He steals his brother's girlfriend. It's kind of fucked up, really, in the movie. And this is a Christmas movie, for fuck's sake.
Wait, you
You remember Gremlins? Who's the guy who was on Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul?
Oh, God, I can't
That great
remember
actor.
his
He
name.
was in Free Jack too.
Who's in? Oh, you mean the Mick Jagger?
Yeah, he was in Free Jack, and he was also playing one of the cops in Gremlins.
And he's in Better Call Saul.
Yeah, he's in those shows. Let me just see if I can.
Who's he play on Better Call Saul?
He is. Let me check the cast. I would know his name if I see it. Let me see. No. Jonathan Banks.
Oh, Jonathan Banks. Oh, come on. You need to say he's from Beverly Hills Cop. He's Cuz from Beverly Hills Cop.
But he was
That's
also
who Jonathan Banks.
he was also in Gremlins. He played one of the cops, and he's sitting there as the Gremlins are attacking the town. He's in the car with his boss, with the sheriff, and he sees Santa being attacked by Gremlins, and he goes, "Jesus, Frank, that's Dave Morris. He does Santa every year." And he's like, "I'd really like you to start the car now, Frank. Can we get out of here, Frank, please?"
Yeah.
And then he says, "This is supposed to be Christmas. What the hell's going on, Frank?" That scene always makes me crack up. I don't know why I brought that up. Maybe because Raymond Barry kind of reminds me of Jonathan Banks.
Could be.
And now is he going to shoot? Does he shoot?
Oh, he's just acting like a retard.
He's trying to get the thing. Really? I've never known a smoke detector. Have you ever known a smoke detector to go off because you were smoking?
No, never. That has never happened to me. And I used to smoke a good bit.
As a matter of fact, our smoke detectors don't go off like they should. I think I need to replace them.
You get to that phone before I get to you?
Jesse, put the gun down.
It's weird, isn't it weird? Kevin Spacey wants him to put down the gun. Judy Davis doesn't. That means that Judy Davis is looking out more for her son's welfare than Kevin Spacey. Or rather, I'm sorry, Kevin Spacey is looking out more for his son's welfare than Judy Davis.
He wants him around, you know. Kevin, if you're a minor, it's definitely finer. Spacey likes his boys. Right?
Oh!
You know, he doesn't want them dead.
And we have
He's not a
joke 5.
necrophiliac.
The rocket has cleared the tower.
Yeah.
Preparing for liftoff again in roughly, I
Yeah.
guess, 40 seconds. A blue Christmas. J.K. Simmons again? Now, what has J.K. Simmons been in? Of course, he was J. Jonah Jameson in the original Spider-Man trilogy.
Yeah,
he was,
there was that low point
he was in
his career.
Lady Killers. I remember he was in Lady Killers with Tom Hanks, the Coen Brothers movie, where he played some kind
First
of
time
an explosive expert.
first time I really noticed him was in Oz.
He was on Oz? Okay.
Yeah. He played Schillinger was the guy's name, I think.
What,
on
was he?
Oz.
I didn't watch Oz. Was he one of the corrections officers?
No, he was one of the
Oh,
inmates.
he was an
a
inmate?
really
Jesus Christ.
Fucked up one. Yeah. He was the white supremacist.
Oh, shit.
Aryan Army
Wait, did
dude,
he have
yeah.
like tattoos and shit?
No, not really. But he was a bad scumbag motherfucker.
Okay.
He was rough. Oz was a rough show, man. I enjoyed it, but you know, it's like it was.
I never got into it.
rough.
It was one of those shows that people were always trying to press me to watch. You have to see the watch.
Well, it was hard to get into, especially because the politics were so rough in the first season. It's one of those shows that strangely, most shows they go political later. Like Oz was political at the beginning, and they got less so. They got more into the characters and less political.
It's one of those shows that were like, you have to watch Oz, you have to watch The Wire, you have to watch Breaking Bad.
The Wire I can't do. I don't understand how anybody watches that nonsensical crap. It must get better, but I because everybody likes it. But man, dude, trying to watch that show, it's like nothing happens in that show. Like what the fuck?
The Sopranos, Mad Men, Game of Thrones.
I love Mad Men. Sopranos I never really cared for. Game of Thrones I haven't gotten into. Hey, yeah, that one that's another one. Like people tell me just like skip the first couple episodes and just get into it. You'll like it, but like eventually we plan on doing that. But
it sucks.
I've only got 2 more episodes of Santa Clarita Diet, but I am writing an article and I'm going to tear the show to pieces.
56 years old. He's
I wouldn't bother. See, I don't even need to watch it, and
and then I got to turn on TV every day.
because man, like all it took me was one episode to know that I didn't like that show. You've apparently just decided to watch them all.
I got an article. I got an article out of it, you know.
Things don't
Well, all right, you got an article.
Welcome to the real world, where most of the time
Where things don't go your
things
fucking
don't
way.
go your fucking way.
For you to say,
Everything goes your way.
you know what?
You know what? I'm just gonna leave you here with Kevin Spacey.
Andy's gagging him too. That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a gag on you and send you to Kevin Spacey.
He'll be all right.
Don't have much time. Rules it out.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
All right, here we go with the.
Most of the people that end up tied up in Spacey's room live, so it's fine.
Remember the joke from Family Guy from a few years back? It
No,
predated
what was
all of this, and it was the weirdest thing. Stewie makes a bet with Brian, and if Stewie does what Brian wants him to do, Brian will give him something, right?
Right.
So the joke is he runs through a shopping mall, he takes his clothes off, runs through a shopping mall and screams, "Help, I just escaped from Kevin Spacey's basement." I mean, they actually predicted it, and they predicted Bruce Jenner too. They projected they predicted Bruce Jenner. Stewie calls Bruce Jenner a woman, a beautiful Dutch woman. And that was like 10 years before the whole Bruce Jenner thing.
Wow.
Oh yes, your Christmas wish came true.
Oh yes.
You're to be out of here.
Everybody gets a good line in this, and this is this guy's good line right here.
It's been swell.
He's like, "Bob, I nailed your wife, Bob."
Yeah. What?
3 times, Bob. She said you never went 3 times.
Yeah.
3 times, Bob. She said you never went.
She said you never went 3 times.
Look at his eye. Look at his eye. It's twitching. His eye is twitching. How did he get his eye to do that?
Merry Christmas, Lloyd. Phil, Steve.
Merry Christmas, Lloyd.
Are you guys working tonight?
No, they're starting at curfew tonight, and this is our area. Thought we might.
You know what I gotta say? I like his shirt.
If you're looking for Kevin, if he ain't screaming, I ain't creaming Spacey, he went the other way.
Oh, and we have liftoff again. You know, I think I don't want to get randy or anything, but I think Judy should have blown Dennis in the closet just to get out. You know?
Yeah,
I could totally see her doing
might have
that.
been a
Listen,
more racy movie. It might have been more interesting.
if you let me and my son go, I'll blow you. Okay?
That's the porno version of The Ref.
Oh man, there should have been a porno version of this. The Ref, an XXX parody directed by Axel Braun. Now they're all in there. Can we go around the world here? I guess not. Not enough space.
Would you shut up? There was no other alternative. In shower, dressing, wrapping presents. What is this? A line seminar? You made a noise. I was distracted. He was distracted.
They could run a train on her. I'm sorry, I have to get dirty about this.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then he's in there trying to get out.
Something tells me that wouldn't float Kevin's boat.
He's trying to get out, and then he's hearing sounds from the other room. This is like this is the porno parody that makes itself. Hey, look, anybody want any Quaker Oats or Morton Salt Girl?
Kevin's more a suck the wee and take a plea kind of guy.
Oh! Is that joke number 6 or 7? I've lost count now.
I don't know, 6, 7, whatever. Who's counting, right?
I gotta write it for the show notes. I have to make sure that I get the right amount of jokes.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't number them, so who knows?
I just hope I'm able to edit this after all the snafus we had.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, let me see. I'll figure. I'll mix down your audio, my audio, put it together, then
Whoa, it's late. Well, this is the thing.
go back to a minute. But I got to figure out how to go back to the minute.
I'll get him to call you, at the office or wherever, because, Christmas Eve you're so busy, and
I guess I'll have to line it up with the movie again.
Hello. Hello. Are you feeling better?
Who gives a rat's ass how I feel?
I'll get him.
Can't believe I'm working tonight. I know. Some guy robbed
Well, you're getting time and a half in holiday pay. Come on, man.
Guy going around touching all of the young boys in the neighborhood. Like,
brother out looking for him.
Murray,
No.
he hung up.
Oh, he sounded upset.
He should be. He's gonna die a horrible fucking death.
Speaking of which,
Oh, do you remember that Denis Leary Sandra Bullock movie, 2 by Sea?
oh boy, that was
I really
horrible.
hated her accent in that. She was trying to put on this tough city accent. She's like Southern, I think.
Yeah,
She was doing it. She was trying to
no.
do Marissa Tomei, you know, and she was talking like this.
Yeah,
Connie, honey, look who dropped by. Merry Christmas.
yeah, I couldn't do that movie. I tried.
I'll take that back upstairs.
I'll take it. I want to change my shoes.
Have you seen anything you liked of recent?
Of recent,
Merry Christmas. Who is
sure.
This is the doctor.
Since we last spoke, don't think so.
marriage doctor?
Right.
We'll think about it.
Okay.
You're a Wong.
My mother was Irish.
You're a Wong.
Wasn't.
Wasn't.
Why don't we go downstairs?
You know,
Shoes are lovely.
I don't say this much about women, ladies her age, but she's actually she's a kind of a beautiful
She's
older
actually-
woman.
You know, she's got a cute ass.
I wasn't talking about her ass. I was just talking about her face. We could do without the damned hat, but she's not a bad-looking woman for an older
I don't
woman.
usually say this about elderly women, but you know, I'd like to bend her over a table and.
Okay. All right.
I have really no interest.
Something tells me she's a demon in the sack.
Yeah, I think so. I think we could.
She's
we
like
could
one of
break
these
it.
women that like curses you out and treats you horribly and says terrible things to you while you're plowing her, you know?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think she's one of the women who likes to be told she's a good girl.
Tell me I'm a good girl.
Caroline,
Yes.
come up here for a minute.
Judy,
I'm a
too.
good
Judy
girl.
strikes me as a demon in the sack as well.
Yes, well, everything's in the dining room. Why don't you light the candles? That'd be good.
But she's got a fucking mouth on her. I've
Nice.
seen Deconstructing Harry,
She does.
and she is just like...
Your husband ain't dead, lady. He's hiding. Yeah, you know what? I haven't seen anything since we last spoke. I have seen nothing. I'm flipping through my media center, and there ain't jack shit there. We're just watching Mrs. Maisel, and that's about
It's
it.
television.
Friend?
Just television.
We should probably next year do the Christmas Chronicles.
She?
Hey, why not?
She? Maury, I've been in this house.
They played that song. Actually, we were in a Walgreens 2 days ago, and they played the song that he performs in the movie.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. I don't know. I think we should do Lethal Weapon. Just because you did Lethal Weapon with somebody else and you cheated on me doesn't mean
That was one of the first
that we
actual-
should do Lethal Weapon.
Well, no, the thing was, it was a show. I don't even think it was released. I'm not even sure. But I did a show with Mark Giacomo and Chris Hassler where we talked about Lethal Weapon.
But you didn't do like a live Lethal Weapon.
No, it wasn't
right?
a live-
So we
it
should do
wasn't a
Lethal
running
Weapon, because it's a
commentary.
Christmas movie. I mean, it
Is
a
it really?
Christmas movie.
Okay.
We
Oh,
get to
this
make-
is something.
we get to make fun of Shane Black, and it's a Christmas movie.
This is something I wanted to bring up because I was listening to, I don't know,
Yeah.
somebody, I think it was Michael Malice, I'm not sure, but they were asking him a question. It was like an AMA type thing. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? And he says, not really, because it's not about Christmas. He thinks, his theory is that a Christmas movie should be about Christmas. So I wonder, does The Ref qualify as a Christmas movie? It is sort of, it takes place around Christmas, but is it about Christmas?
I think it honestly, like, I like the Die Hard as a Christmas movie, but it's just a movie that takes place at Christmas with Christmas in the background. This movie, The Ref, is more of a Christmas movie because it features Christmas traditions and.
But it doesn't give us the lesson, though. You know, the lesson of, the true spirit of Christmas and all that crap.
Oh, I don't know that if that's what it takes to be a Christmas movie, then I don't know. I don't know. I think that's a crazy definition.
Like
of a
the Christmas
movie.
Chronicles is a Christmas movie because it's about Santa, right?
Well, here's what my criteria for what a Christmas movie would be. Do you want to watch it every Christmas because it's Christmas time? Now, Die Hard for me does not qualify for that. Sorry to say, but and Lethal Weapon doesn't either. Although I will watch. You know what? Lethal Weapon qualifies more so than Die Hard.
It's sort of a weird
Lethal
thing
Weapon,
because it's L.A., so you're not getting snow, but they do have Christmas
that's
trees.
true, but there's a lot of Christmas songs in the movie. There's a lot of Christmas dinner. There's they're rebuilding just after Christmas. The Elvis is in the closing credits singing, I'll be home for Christmas. It's there's a little more. God, they look stupid.
This cannot be real. This cannot be a real tradition. This seems incredibly, stupidly dangerous.
It would be fun as fuck to do this to a bunch of people you didn't like, though.
They're wearing actual. Now I can see that maybe we can get those fake artificial candles with bulbs on top.
The wax dripping on your head every time you move.
This is kind of ridiculous. I mean, I just can't imagine that. Oh, and she's telling this feminist story about this feminist hero who was burned at the stake, and she wouldn't burn, and they stabbed her.
Yeah. So they started sticking her with spears or some shit.
This is okay, and also, not to mention, this is the most horrible, disgusting-looking meal I've ever seen in my life. And like I said, I'm making a strip roast, and Bronwyn's making our mashed potatoes, and I've got like an au jus gravy that I'm going to make with mushrooms, hollandaise sauce, broccoli, and we're going to have fun. And like I said it to her, I said it to Regan, I'm saying it to you again. I will not let this holiday get to me. I will not. We are just gonna sit down. It's gonna be, she opens.
Well, I'm not gonna let it get to me. You know what? Well, you know what I'm doing, right? I'm here talking to you. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Ba ba da ba da da.
Ba da ba 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 da ba.
104.38.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom.
Are you paused?
All right. Yep.
Okay, and click. 3, 2, 1, click.
All right. Yeah. So here's what I'm doing. On Christmas Eve, I'm sitting here up until like 2 o'clock in the morning doing this, right? But on Christmas Eve, I am doing dinner. I'm doing a shellfish casserole and lasagna for 25 people.
What's in the casserole?
It's scallops, lobster, shrimp, and Langostino tails is something I've been adding lately just to add a little bit more. And it's in a cheese cream sauce.
Sounds pretty good.
Served over rice with peas. It's a traditional family dish that we've always had in our house. So I'm doing that for 25 people on Christmas Eve. Christmas Day, I am doing dinner for 21 people with a completely whole different menu.
Jeez. No leftovers?
There will be leftovers. Well, we'll probably bring the lasagna out, but we usually leave the seafood as like that's like we do that.
What's the Christmas dinner then?
Christmas dinner is going to be ham, turkey, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes.
How many boxes of Kraft will you have to use for the 21 people?
Vegetables. Well, I'm not doing boxes of Kraft because I first of all, I'm gluten free, so I do gluten free. So it's going to be $5 boxes of pasta.
Yeah, I have a box of gluten free penne, and it's weird because you can see right through it.
Well, some of it's horrible. Most of it's horrible. There's really only one brand I like to use, and that costs a good bit, and you have to. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get. But in any case, so I'm doing mac and cheese from scratch. This is a little bit more relaxed dinner, yes, and I'm doing 2 vegetables, and then some people are going to bring some other dishes, but I'm doing all of that for Christmas Day.
Oh, okay.
So I have to be cooking tomorrow and the next day pretty much all day, both days.
What are you gonna do for New Year's?
And we will be serving. I will send you pictures of what this fucking looks like because I am doing chafing dishes, and I've purchased chafing dishes so that we can serve things hot and really step up how things look. And I'm doing an hors d'oeuvre spread that is gonna be fucking insane. I'll show you everything.
Okay.
But anyway, that's what I'm doing. Plus, we have all the Christmas obligations and toys and wrapping and all that other bullshit. That sucks.
What are you doing for New Year's?
As little as possible. We're going to somebody else's house because I'm tired.
Oh, that's good.
Now get the hell home, George, before we call your wife.
Now we're going to take our.
Santa was mean to me.
Cart. Did I tell you? Santa was mean to me. I love that. I'm serious, George.
Yeah, I love this. I love this. Well, take a fucking cruise to Jamaica. You can eat your own lousy cooking. And then he takes a piss right on their bush.
Did I tell you I bought a golf cart?
Hey, look, there's a little bit of steam, too. It's a nice effect.
Oh, yeah. It is a nice effect. See, be the special effects guy on this fucking show.
He earned his pay.
He did.
Oh, now everybody's drunk. she's interested.
New Year's, we're driving our golf cart to a friend's house in the neighborhood. That way we don't have to drive drunk.
I think we're probably gonna have Chinese food on New Year's Eve, and then I'll have my meal because I just want to relax, and then I'll do all the cooking. I guess we have to do the cake too because it's Regan's birthday. In addition,
I plan on making an ass of myself. Now that I'm on the HOA, it's like an imperative. I have to make a toast of myself at parties, and have people admonish me for my behavior, and
I wonder if we're gonna have
just do stupid things.
Did she say her line? She had a great line where she goes, "Lloyd, why don't you eat me?"
Me. Did she say that yet? See, we're terrible. We're here live commenting on this movie. We're not even fucking watching.
It's okay. You can when people want to watch the movie and listen to our dialogue, they can just turn the movie up and listen to us on the side. You know.
Well, yeah.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll stereo us. I'll put you on.
You'll be somebody's patient if you don't put your ass in that chair.
I'll put you on the left. I'll put you on the right. You hit that kid one more time.
Yeah.
Right up your ass.
Well, honey, he is a doctor. It's got Christmas until midnight. You know why? Because we're adults. We can open
whenever we want to.
Whenever we want.
I really wish they'd take off those hats. Excuse me. Hey, when are we going to get back to extreme cinema proper?
I don't know. I'm down to do it just as long as we can control the timing and stuff.
Oh, it shouldn't be a problem if we're just going to have a conversation. But I still have a schedule here of movies that we talked about doing. Let me just take a look quickly.
All right.
All right, this is everything we did. All right. John Dahl, we were going to do Kill Me Again, Red Rock West, and The Last Seduction.
We're going to do
John
what?
Dahl.
Oh, Kill Me Again in Red Rock West?
Yeah, John Dahl movies.
John Dahl.
And then we
right,
were talking about Joseph Rubin. We were going to do Stepfather, Sleeping with the Enemy, True Believer, The Good Son.
Nice.
You mentioned a filmmaker named Jeremy Saulnier who did movies called Blue Ruin and Green Room.
Right, which is interesting stuff.
And we were going to go back to Larry Cohen again and do Bestseller and Guilty as Sin.
Oh, I love this. This is a good group of movies.
We already did Eric Cohen. I mean, sorry, Eric Red. Oh, we were going to do Michael Mann, Thief and Manhunter.
Oh, wow. Okay. I just watched Thief the other day.
Mark Puro, we were going to do Death Row Game Show and Buford's Beach Bunnies.
Oh, that's a good one. I never saw Buford's Beach. Well, I think I did maybe once. Back in the day, that shit was on like Cinemax or whatever.
And we were going to do something about our favorite movie trailers at some point.
Oh.
So I have a few things on here. We'll talk about it later.
All right, that sounds good. Coming on Extreme Cinema.
Oh, I did. You know what? We did Upstairs at Freilic's show, and we talked about Patrick Swayze. And we talked about Steel Dawn and Next to Kin, and I hadn't seen those movies in years. Next to Kin is such an awesome movie. I loved it. It
really is an awesome movie. It's way deeper and way more of a good movie than it should be. I mean...
I think Patrick Swayze does not get the credit he deserves. I mean, it's such a fantastic film with an incredible cast, too.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be putting that out on Christmas because it's a Patrick Swayze Christmas, so that episode will be going out on Christmas, too.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, the Next of Kin was really a surprisingly, like, it's really not the movie that you thought it would be from the trailer. No,
it wasn't at all. It was
from the story.
It was such a thoughtful story.
Like
it was a thoughtful story. There was so much conflict. It was great conflict.
Yeah, it's really more of a drama. It's kind of a little slow, and it's not what you would expect. It's. But it was very enjoyable. I've always enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
That was from the wasn't that period where Laura Marr was making pictures through Warner Brothers, and they're like every one of them was a massive fucking failure, including that one.
Well, I don't know. It made money. It made some money. It wasn't a big flop, but it wasn't it wasn't Dirty Dancing or Ghost popular, but just such a fun movie. Just a fun movie to watch. Okay.
Definitely fun.
This is funny. This is how the family feels about the mother here. Oh.
Thank you, Penny and Mary and John.
And I mean, like, what is Christine Baranski in this movie? She's slipper socks, medium.
Yeah.
And another check. Cocksucker. She muttered.
Yeah.
Cocksucker.
What did she say?
Oh my God! I didn't even realize before because this is the high def and it's in widescreen, right?
Yeah.
But I can see the painting, that painting of her.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even notice that before.
And they have lovely stuff in this house. They have like beautiful antiques in this house. Like
definitely. I'm not too sure about those dogs.
Staffordshire dogs. Those Staffordshire dogs are fucking awesome. And those salt.
See, look, there's the painting. It's right behind Kevin Spacey in the shot.
This is my favorite thing.
I don't know about the Staffordshire dogs. They seem a little creepy to me. I worry that the eyes glow. Yeah, there's the painting again. See, she was a looker. I might have tapped that.
Yeah.
Older women, they're experts. You know what I'm talking about, right? Huh? That's an interesting painting there.
Boo to his wife.
Well, no, that's not fair. Come on, I've said boo to you.
I said boo the other day.
They have a bar. They have a little bar there.
They've
got some liquor, hard liquor.
New York.
Restaurant guidebook. Recommends you for a fun night out of fasting. See, now that was the vicious kind of Kevin Spacey back in those days, and it's like the same as with like Swimming with Sharks. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Where the dialogue is so cutting and so it's very offensive. It's very offensive sounding.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the both of these actors, this is like has turned. It went from a goofy comedy with with Denis Leary into this kind of biting drama kind of a thing.
It does.
It's kind of. I wouldn't say that it has a tone shift because a lot of this is very dark. So it's not like it has a tone shift, but it is jarring that you go from cat piss, biting the ass humor to this.
I always like because the dialogue is still so snappy that like it takes a turn for the serious, yes, but it's still it's still like lightning fast dialogue that's really good.
It's very snappy. I mean, it's like this might actually I know for sure this is definitely my favorite Ted Demme movie.
Yeah.
Because it's something that I can continue to revisit. I did enjoy Beautiful Girls. I thought that was kind of a fun comedy kind of a thing.
I never saw it. It looked like a girl movie.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You would think that it's kind of like a Truth About Cats and Dogs type movie.
Why didn't they call it Hot Chicks?
Chicks.
Then I would have watched it.
Because they were hoping, hey, you want to see some beautiful girls? It's called Beautiful Girls. Go ahead and see it. See, the thing, I think he has a better grasp of comedy than Jonathan Demme. When Jonathan Demme tried to make a comedy, it wasn't really funny for me. Like Married to the Mob, I didn't find funny. There were parts of Something Wild that I did enjoy. And
yeah, parts. That's about it.
But my favorite movie of Jonathan Demme's is probably Melvin and Howard.
Shut
the
up.
first movie he made.
Yeah. Okay, honey, nobody cares what you think.
Look at that shot. Did you see that shot of the old woman? She's
I did.
She looks like she's pleased with herself. She looked pleased with herself. Oh. It's a nice tree, too. Why is he doing that? The corpse still has the floor. And the flowers are still standing. It's okay. The table broke the fall. He looked like he was kind of cracking up a little bit, doesn't he? Does he look like he's cracking up a little bit here? How much of this do you think is personal? I mean, like,
I don't know. I could see it seems to hit home.
I mean, like, LaGravenese and Weiss wrote this, and I feel like a lot of this is actually, it did happen in their family, that they did have these arguments.
Maybe.
Is it possible for you to...
Yeah, here we go. Possible for you to shut the fuck up for 10 seconds. This is it right here.
Big wooden cross.
Then you feel unappreciated for all your sacrifices. You can climb on up and nail yourself to it.
Great line.
What the hell do you think you
Slipper
are?
socks.
Slipper socks. Medium.
Leary's loving this, too.
The army. What am I, Oswald?
Ooh. Interesting Foley work there. It's called gun therapy. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
What kind of therapy is this? This is rather brave of J.K. Simmons to just come clean about his activities. He has blue eyes, I never noticed. They're gonna have some issues after all of this is, you know.
Yeah, all this is said.
All the smoke clears. This is sort of what has happened here. There is a reversal with the characters. Now,
yeah.
Now they're all sort of united.
I know
Loan Shark's more forgiving than you.
He's hiding.
He's hiding.
Wow. We're coming to the end. We got 13 minutes left. We'll have to talk through the credits, too. There's a Vince Neil poster in there. This is, you know, really kind of fucked up. I mean, how long has this been going on, this whole extortion thing? Blackmail. Actually, it's blackmail. My God, he's ruddy. You know what? I think she's wearing a wig. I think that's a wig.
You think?
It's not her real hair color, and it's a little too big, you know? Unless this is part of the reshoot. Her hair does look slightly different. I really hate that kid's mustache. I think he should shave it. I mean, it's ridiculous. Also, he looks like he needs a shower or something. He seems kind of dirty.
Maybe Kevin likes him now. I don't know.
We only got 10 minutes left. You better get him in while you can. These Kevin Spacey cracks.
I don't have that many left that are that good, so, you know. I don't want him to be too corny, you know.
Why stop now? Stupid parents. God, get rid of that horrible painting.
Where's my fruitcake? Every year we give you a fruitcake.
You don't give us a goddamn
thing.
Hey, you had a gun.
Yeah. You're dead.
You think you can take me? I'm Santa Claus. Could this be the reshoot right here?
Could be.
I don't know. Everything's matched up. I think the reshoot probably began with the discussion upstairs. Kevin's got an idea.
Good.
Suddenly, this becomes a very special Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want us to do? Turn him in?
Nice line. I got 29 minutes left on my battery. We should be able to wrap this up. Yeah, 8 minutes left here.
All right.
He's talking to himself too. He's like, hey, that cop. I remember that cop. He was in the World of Worlds TV show that was in the late 80s, and it was released as part of the Paramount syndication package, the black cop on the left.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? You remember that guy? He hasn't even had a line.
I recognize his face because I have it on DVD. I have the whole series. It was one of my favorite series back when I was a kid. He played like this computer whiz kid who was in a wheelchair, and he winds up dying in the second season. But it was a great show. I really loved it. I wish they would do a proper HD remaster of it. That would be nice.
Huh.
And now we're running through the woods. And isn't that where Patrick Swayze killed all those guys at the end of Next of Kin? No. With the fucking tomahawks and crossbows? Jesus Christ. What an ending to that movie, I say.
It was awesome.
It was really good. And then, like, Andreas Katsula shoots Adam Baldwin because he knows that Adam Baldwin killed his son, played by Ben Stiller.
Right. Right. Great cast.
Man. Bill Paxton, Liam Neeson, Helen Hunt. Before they were famous.
Really great cast.
Ted Levine in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
That's right. You're right. Yeah. Jeez.
All right. We're coming to the end of the movie. And I thank everybody who actually listens to this, if you do.
Yeah, really. If you made it this far, man, you need therapy.
And I'm constantly reminded now by my other producing partners to like, share, and subscribe. I know we have a nice audience out there who actually listens to this stuff. It's nice when you do it. And we will
like, share, and subscribe. Don't be cheesy. Get out there and share, and like, and all that other shit.
Don't be cheesy. I'm going to put that graphic up there too.
Yeah, don't be cheesy. Get over here and subscribe.
Oh, we neglected to mention that Gussie has a girlfriend, and I'm sorry, not Gus.
No, he's Gus.
Murray.
Yeah, the other
Murray
guy
has a girlfriend.
Murray's got a girlfriend. The drunk, vagrant imbecile.
The fucking waste of life has a girlfriend.
Yes.
Who has a boat, which was a funny line.
Yeah, now he's got a boat
in the movie. I don't care if it's a barrel as long as it fucking floats.
Yeah.
And we maybe come back in 2020 and do some episodes of Extreme Cinema. We've got plenty of things that we want to do.
We could bore the shit out of people doing that.
Just regular ass episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, you think this is awesome. You'll love that.
Once again, you are a salesman, Andrew.
Yeah, man, I know how to sell it. Yeah, dude. Like and subscribe.
Don't be cheesy, everybody.
Yeah, don't be cheesy over there. Now your ass is eating my fucking house.
Oh, I am getting close. I'm getting to the end of this suddenly. Hopefully we got 4 minutes left on this, and I say goodbye to the credits. Heat in my fucking house! Final line. Shut up.
I actually saw this in the theater, and it was very good. I enjoyed it.
I didn't get to. I don't know why.
I saw this on 57th Street, just off 2nd Avenue in Manhattan, in a tiny theater that's probably not there anymore.
Probably not. Or it's been changed or converted into an enormous multiplex or something like that.
It was only a two theater place, and they were small. I doubt it's still there.
Wait, what was the name of the theater?
The name of the theater?
Was it a Lowe's theater or a United Artists theater?
But it was 57th. It was 50. It was, what was that? I'm sorry, you were broken up.
Was it a Lowe's theater, United Artists, AMC?
You got me. I don't remember. It was not the one that was on 2nd Avenue, which was a multiplex. It was around the corner from that, and it was 57th off. I want to say second. It's not second.
If it was it was one of those 2 theater jobs, it was probably a Lowe's.
Possibly.
It's really weird. They gave Rutanya. Did they forget that Rutanya Alda was in this movie? She plays Linda.
Yeah.
They just put her. They put her title at the end of the titles, at the end of the cast credits, as if they.
Well, at least Jarrow Dick is the subject.
And Patricia Unger. I heard that Patricia Unger and Kim Chow had a real bitch fight over the wardrobe. And then also, I
know that Andy Chmura is a real fucking asshole.
I heard Stuart Levy accused Todd Cassell of sleeping with his wife.
I heard that Sonia Gonzalez saw Kevin Spacey touch John Purcell in a very uncool
And
way.
Sherry Schwartz has pictures to prove it. She took the pictures and she put them on the National Enquirer.
Yeah, but Charles Vogel stole them. And now he's holding them for ransom.
Yeah, but John Butch Rose,
but he's going to end up...
He took a knife and tried to get the pictures from him.
Well, I think he hired John Butch Rose to kill him, so that that's just not an issue anymore. But none of this compares to what MJNK did.
Oh, so bad that they couldn't use
I can't even talk
the
about
real
it.
person's name. They just had to use the initials.
Yeah.
I totally forgot.
MJNK.
In all seriousness, I totally forgot that Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer produced this movie.
Yeah, it was at the beginning of the movie. They said so.
Because I saw assistant to Mr. Simpson, assistant to Mr. Bruckheimer.
It's definitely not their normal milieu.
No.
For sure.
Definitely not. Okay, the producers wish to thank.
So I don't know why they produced it, to be honest. I don't know.
They shot this movie in Ontario.
What drew them to it.
They didn't even shoot it in Connecticut. I call foul.
Yeah.
Get a Life, written and performed by David A. Stewart. Christmas comes but once a year. It's Christmas, you're drunk, and you're in jail. What are these, country songs? It's Christmas, and I'm drunk in jail.
Yeah.
I beat my woman with a star from the tree.
My truck got stolen, and now my woman says it's Christmas.
All right, well, we're coming to the end of this. Like I said, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for listening. Andrew and I will be back.
Yeah, like, share, and subscribe, and all that other shit.
And have a Merry Christmas. And Merry Christmas, Andrew.
Merry Christmas, Dave.
And I hope that you are able to...
Fuck you, Dave. You know you had a Merry Christmas.
That's pretty good. I hope you're able to have some fun with all the people that you're feeding over the next couple of days.
Yeah, I'll be all right. I'm getting used to this shit.
All right. And we're coming to the end of this. Well, there's 20 seconds left in this movie.
Oh, there's 20 seconds left. What will we do?
I guess you have one more Kevin Spacey joke?
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Yeah. Do I? I don't
8,
know.
7, 6.
Kevin, after a sip of rum, I like a little bum, Spacey.
How dare you?
Good night.
You have been listening to Extreme Cinema with Andrew Legang and David Lawler.